welcome. A lot of familiar faces from earlier this afternoon. This is being recorded and will show up on GMTV, correct, in a few days. So be careful what you say. So this is, as most of you know, I think just about everybody was there earlier. This is kind of a follow-up to the discussion that we had earlier when we were outside freezing our, yes, we were freezing. So, you know, the idea now is to try to put on paper some of the conceptual ideas that you guys threw out earlier. So go ahead and continue with what you're doing and forget about the camera. Go ahead. And if you've got any questions, you know, for me, again, I'm Mark Berry. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, or Chad. You know, feel free, now's the time to ask. And again, thank you guys. I know I said this earlier. Thank you for coming out tonight, because one of the other guys that was there tonight with white hair, not me, but one of the other guys is actually on the town council. And he said prior to the meeting outside, he goes, you know, a lot of you came last year and spoke in the council, and he goes, Mark, that was probably one of the most impactful evenings that we've ever had hearing from the public. And so congratulations to the great job you did last year, and this is your chance to kind of see this project through and hopefully get what you guys all have kind of envisioned in your mind. So.
What I would say, just so we can record it, hopefully the goal tonight, again, after walking around outside and discussing all those things, is to start putting it down on paper. Ideally, what I'd like, we have the pencils so you can kind of start drawing. There are no mistakes, right? We got lots of copies. We can throw them away, redo them. This doesn't mean it's final. This is what we're going to build. It doesn't have to be truly to scale. It's just like, let's throw the ideas down, and even if you don't feel comfortable necessarily drawing it because you're not sure how it would work or shape or whatever, you can just put the notes down, like I want, you know, this feature maybe in this area, something like that, right? And then we can kind of work out the details. So we'd like to spend a good amount of time, maybe, you know, we'll see how long it takes, but 15 minutes, half hour, something like that, kind of drawing. And then after that, if we can kind of cobble those together, I'm fine having a couple different plans, and then we'll maybe kind of rank those areas, like each group working on a plan. We'll just kind of do a 1, 2, 3, 4 on what your kind of priority list is. So if you had to choose which area to do first to last, right? So that'll help give us some ideas as we have to worry about phasing down the road. So with that, I would say we'll just kind of work around. This is a Shret style, so feel free to jump from table to table. Throw down ideas, draw something, realize that you like it or hate it, scratch it out, do it over again, you know, and we'll just kind of work through it. And any questions, just shout them out. Make sense?
Correct.
Correct.
Just so that you understand the process, you know, once we have all of this, you know, Chad and his team are going to, along with Jeff, are going to kind of take those ideas and try to create what they think you guys wanted, and then you'll have an opportunity to to look at the plans and like, no, you guys, you just weren't listening, or like, yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. So, you know, this will not be your only opportunity to, you know, weigh in. There will be at least one more, and yeah, so there'll be another opportunity to sit down and kind of look at the plans. And I don't know, Chad, can you talk a little bit about what the next set of plans would look like? Because it's going to be a lot different. It's not going to be an aerial, because it's a lot of it's going to be conceptual. So what would those plans look like?
Yep, so we'll so as we did talk about outside, we want to talk to you guys about skate park specifically, and then we have another meeting with the rest of the public a week from today, where we talk about the rest of Sutton Park, because there's the other changes going on. We're going to combo all that stuff together and come back, and it will be plans. They'll probably be somewhat rendered plans. It's a little bit challenging with the skate park features themselves because they don't look like much necessarily in a plan, so we'll probably have a couple little sections and diagrams and illustrations. and then a bunch of labels and kind of pointing out what might be what and where it might go. And that will be on the same plan as what we're trying to do for the rest of Sutton Park too. And then we'll meet with you again, talk pros, cons, have the same thing with the rest of the public on the rest of the park. And once we hopefully get a consensus within the next month or so, then we start working towards drawings that go final design, go through permitting, and then out to bid. So that's the longer process. So I would say, even though we are talking skate park specific, if you have ideas for the rest of the park, we want to hear those too, right? And we've talked about how the skate park bleeds into the park, how we might have features that go along the walkways, or you guys suggested today, you know, the separate bowl across the street, right? So where do you want that? How do we incorporate that? Those are the things that we can definitely put on the plans. So.
And just so that you're aware, we did get funding, separate funding, to put in a bathroom, and that bathroom is planned to go right in this area, kind of right in the center of the basketball court. We also have funding, we want to kind of improve the sight line, so this big berm will either completely be removed or it will be thinned out considerably.
Take the trees and stuff out and do a flower potting or something. Leave them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're open
Yeah.
here already.
Right.
So this gives somewhat of a,
Right.
at least everything's not right out in the open.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yep. So you know, that's the extent of the work here is kind of to be determined. We also got another grant that we're going to build a multi-use path that's going to connect this multi-use path that runs along Route 1, and it's going to wind through here and actually go out past the baseball fields and connect up to Midway Oval. Yeah, it will connect to Midway Oval, and then there'll be a lot of on-road biking over to the trolley trail. Yes. Yep. Yeah. So and the whole bike path is going to be lit with solar power lights. That's the plan. And then I think we talked earlier that there's going to be lights here, much better than what's there. So all right, I'm going to shut up and.
Here, which brings your elevation up.
So what about like concrete going straight all the way across that? Yeah. So you can shoot
So,
up and,
so you can, you want the tree, I don't think anyone really wants that tree.
look at the trees that you get.
Basically, maybe that can't get rid of it.